Hello everybody, welcome back to another video. I'm hoping you guys are all having a fantastic day. So in today's upload, we will be talking about the weather, as one may have guessed. And we will be talking about, in particular, a heat wave. Now, if you live across the United States, the Midwest, the East Coast, you may be wondering, what heat wave am I talking about? Am I crazy? As I'm looking at my thermometer here, it's 46 degrees and rainy. Well, obviously this is an anomaly in the cold side, but we are starting to see signs of a very large heat mass that is going to be moving eastward, and it is already affecting portions of California. If we were to take a look at their map of warnings and watches, they do have excessive heat watches. But before we get talking about this heat wave, this whatever may be coming, right? The rain, the cool down, what's coming next for your location. Consider subscribing if you like weather-related content. I just talk about the weather. So yeah, if you're new, obviously check out the channel first. If you're a returning viewer who haven't subscribed, consider subscribing, and liking the video also helps out a ton. Okay, so as I mentioned, excessive heat watches in California. Notice that right now we have a juxtaposing air masses, two air masses are juxtaposing each other, right? So we have frost and freeze warnings way up here into Minnesota, Wisconsin, frost advisories across Michigan, Wisconsin. I mean, that's rather uncalled for, maybe early May, rather still unusual, but this is May 28th, Memorial Day weekend, right? Yeah, definitely not something you would like to see, but, it's better than, I guess, seeing a tornado outbreak. Well, depends on who you are. Some maybe would like that. Notice across the south central United States, we have a lot of those green watches, those green areas, right? That's not a green watch. That is indicative of a flood warning or flood advisory for a river or just an area that has seen a ton of rain, and these areas have. Notice we have there severe thunderstorm watches and warnings. That is indicative of, obviously, severe weather that is going on right now across Texas. So we actually do have a tornado warning. It may have expired, but I do see it right there across central New Mexico. And notice that, yeah, right there, it's, I think, traveling to the south and east. So there will be the potential for that probably every day of the week, as there usually is with summer thunderstorms. But look at that right there. If you're wondering what I was talking about, the heat, yep. Right there, look in California. It is starting to get hot, and the whole western United States is going to be warm. It's taking a bit long to load here, but notice holiday heat. Yeah, record high data. That's probably just talking about a potential record, but yeah, excessive heat. Probably well over 100. If this is California, we're talking about. Yeah, notice highs upper 90s to 110, lows mid 60s to 70s. So at least the nights are decent. But yeah. Notice triple digit heat early next week. Where there's a dip, there's always a ridge at some point nearby, and that's kind of like the jet stream acting in almost like equilibrium. Where it gets pushed up, it will obviously act down in some point, and that's why it's very cold here. But this won't just stay here. This isn't strong enough to block it. It will just move towards the east gradually. So definitely something that's should be on your mind in the coming days, even if it isn't right now. Okay, so let's take a look at the precipitation. Good thing is, Memorial Day weekend will be dry and nice for a lot of the locations, even across the Midwest and Eastern United States where it is rainy and cold today. Saturday will be better. Sunday and then Monday will be just downright good. Not cold. There will be obviously areas that do see rain. It won't be perfect for everybody, but speaking, that you could have some sort of large cross-country system of showers, it's going to be mainly gone. So notice we have that nor'easter, right? This is now Saturday. Notice maybe a bit across the upper plains. Definitely not an all-day washout. A bit more across southeastern Texas. That could be a bit more significant in terms of the rain. Again, look at that. The rest of the United States, high and dry, and the temperatures should not be too bad, especially across the east, where they will be just downright pleasant and actually pretty cold across the northeast. So let's take a look at Saturday. This is what they are. You can see upper 50s, 60s. Yeah, rather hot across the south, but nothing unbearable. Could be much worse. Florida, on the other hand, is going to be very hot. Notice Sunday gets warmer, and Monday is actually just Memorial Day, right? So very warm. We could see obviously a bit cooler here, indicative of some rain. Very hot across California at this point, but excluding the Northeast, very, very pleasant in terms of temperatures Memorial Day. And looking forward, we could see that the reason why the Northeast is chilly is where, well, there's the kind of the Another low pressure that will light up the coast from the remnants of this system that's ongoing right now. Notice stalks the Carolinas, Outer Banks there for a few days, then moves up towards the northeast Sunday, Saturday, and eventually into Monday. So that's good, actually. They are, in some areas, pretty dry. They need that rain. So once that will come through, notice that it does kind of dry out, and we have that severe weather threat across the south, which will keep temperatures a bit cooler there. Notice, running this through the whole week, this is Tuesday, this is Wednesday. Again, on and off chances, even in the areas that are green, the radar won't be this lit up, but chances for showers, storms, definitely plenty of dry time in between. I would argue, even with such a setup, probably sun and clouds in between, which is a really good thing because that could act to kind of entice the severe weather threat a bit higher when there's sun. I do apologize if you do hear meowing. That is my cat. He is downstairs with me. We often close the door, and now he's meowing. So yeah, hopefully if you do hear it, it's not too annoying. Thursday, you can see that we have, Wednesday evening, a bit more widespread, right? And into Thursday and Friday, especially towards the northeast, we see a lot of these showers and storms. Again, you would be lucky to get one, and more that, the common trend will be that areas stay high and dry, a few chances of showers here and there. Again, nothing too organized, mainly driven by the diurnal heating, which is basically just the heat that the thunderstorms kind of thrive off of. During the night, the threat gets minimized. Notice some rain across the southeast. We do see a system across southwestern Canada into Friday. But again, rather warm air is starting to take place, so it will kind of have a hard time putting in any moisture in this heat. But you can see right there, some thunderstorms into Monday, Tuesday, and then maybe early next week. We see a large, more organized system. You can see right there, boom, right? But again, even that probably won't be an all-day soaker or an all-day rainmaker. Yeah, and it looks to be honestly just an average early summer pattern. And I wouldn't say unusually wet, neither would I say unusually dry. Kind of what you would want. Definitely for areas that are in the drought, you would want more of a wet pattern, but that won't be happening really across any portion of the United States unless you get like a thunderstorm and your location gets hammered. But you can't just predict that for a whole region. If you're lucky, you'll get some rain. Notice that as it pushes forward into Sunday, Monday, these are the temperatures again. Memorial Day, beautiful. Not hot for many, a bit hot for some, cool for some across the northeast, at the other ends of the country. Tuesday, even warmer. Again, notice that the heat is starting to spread a bit cooler where the rain is. And by Wednesday, it spreads even further towards the east, the rain. The heat does as well. Notice the South Florida is just baking in the heat. The Northwest is also, these are some outstanding anomalies. I mean, look at that. A lot of the West is warmer than portions of even the Deep South at this point. So definitely a heat wave there. And this doesn't, stay secluded to the west. Look at that. South Dakota, North Dakota. By Thursday into Friday, we see a lot of temperatures, a lot of 90s across the central United States, getting very warm into the northeast and actually finally cooling off across the south, northwest. Again, the south, the southwest, the southeast, right there into Florida, Texas. A lot of very warm air and, it's June, right? First day of summer meteorologically starts June 1st. Astronomically, it's June 21st. So, whatever way you put it, it's going to be getting warmer and warmer now. And notice, look at that. That heat wave spreads eastward, right? Saturday, it grips most of the country. I mean, this isn't really unbearable heat. However, 82 compared to the thermometer reading I'm looking at right now here at 47, that's quite a difference. I would say that's a good change, right? And especially if it's humid or muggy, that could definitely put in a bit of an issue. And yeah, notice that as we see this put into Sunday, few areas that are a bit cooler are where the thunderstorms occur. Definitely a cooler air mass to the northwest at this point. But that honestly just kind of further brings out the heat and shows how warm it is. Notice 80s, 90s, all the way up along the East Coast, Florida into Texas, the Southwest. This is now Monday, so a week from tomorrow, from Memorial. And then Tuesday, you can see especially the Northeast getting in on that. And by Wednesday, the cool air does start spreading more and more into the United States at this point, reaching Missouri, Kansas, Oklahoma, Texas. Still very warm across the Northeast. Some places across Quebec and Ontario will be going from seeing the 90s and the 80s to, let's jump this forward a bit. You can see right there, look at that, 90s, 80s, 70s, very, very warm weather too, with that potential cold front. Look at that, 40, 30s during the night, even some frost appearing there. Look at that. Obviously that's very cold, or a large difference. But again, it's more of an anomaly that it's so warm rather than so cold. Again, I do want to say that with such a strong cold front, some models are, by the way, kind of bringing in this the end of this heat wave a bit earlier. Some are bringing the end of this heat wave a bit later. What we do know is that the heat will start spreading eastward, right, as this is less further out. But when this exactly will end, or if it will end, is a bit of a different question. If something like the GFS model pans out to be the truth, notice that there is a strong cold front. It shows, cool front, I should say. It doesn't really bring cold temperatures, but severe weather will probably be riding along this front pretty viciously. So yeah, that's something to watch for. And do notice though that the nights again are kind of a nice crisp cool after that heat wave, but again it doesn't look like that cool air will last for long. You notice that it does start warming up again by mid-June. So that's what we have from the GFS. I could show you the Canadian model. Canadian I like using less because of its decreased accuracy in terms of its temperature anomalies, but it's something to look at, right? Better to look at all of them than just one. So this is the Canadian. Notice it does show that heat across the west really a bit more prolifically than what the GFS does, but it does build, it does spread eastward. Notice 97 potentially across Sioux City in next weekend. Yeah, that's definitely, I would say, almost close to unpleasant. 90s across much of the Midwest. The Canadian likes to do this stuff where it over-exaggerates, but honestly, heat is sometimes underrepresented by models like the GFS. So, it could be right. Will it be 100 like this next Monday or next Sunday? It's hard to tell. If I were to take an educated guess, I would say that's a bit overdone. But you could see the trend that the Canadian keeps it warm. And it does show eventually that cool air spilling into the northwest, but the anomalies are definitely going to be kind of fighting with each other, and it's not going to be a quick, cold front. It's going to last for a while. Look at those anomalies. And you can see right there, that's just indicative of some thunderstorms popping up, probably producing, they could be very severe at that point if there's such heat available. I do want to show you quickly the GFS. I know we looked at this model, but I do want to show you how cool the anomalies look. The kind of conflicting anomalies. Look at that. Very cool, extremely warm, and yeah, they kind of battle out for a while, but eventually that does win the cool air. And again, that could be brought by some severe weather, by this large storm. So yeah, definitely something to take note of. Look at that right there. That could definitely bring in severe weather across the Midwest right there. So yeah, that's something to watch for. In terms of the GFS ensembles, that like the GEFS, it's almost, I think, 51 models, or 31 models are the GFS family. And notice that as we push this forward, we see again a bit of cool air today that across the east, that is marked. Right across the west, though, it gets warmer and warmer. So does across the northwest. I do apologize about that phone ringing. And then notice that as we see this progress further into the week, we see the warm air building across the west and then spilling into the rest of the United States. Look at that. Friday, Saturday, right? We do see those cool air masses up here, which again, the GEFS are a bunch of ensembles. But look at that. It doesn't really allow that cool air to spill in like the GFS does. It just sets this really, really just atrociously strong anomaly here of very warm conditions across the eastern United States. The cool air kind of gets sandwiched, and we're just stuck in this perpetual warm pattern. And if you were to take a look at the anomalies, the 2 meter temperature anomalies by these ensembles, they do support that. So let's start off today or into this weekend. Notice very cool. It gets less and less cool. We'll probably be begging for this cool air once the later weeks come. But look at this. Into Friday, Saturday. Look how warm that gets. Finally leaves the northwest, but it will be berating the northwest for the first half of the week. And then it kind of sits across the northeast. While there is a bit of cool air across the west, they get a bit of relief. The northeast, the eastern United States, just sits in that warm air, and it doesn't look to move at all. And notice right there, that cool air is really to do with how much moisture is in the soil. A lot of those soils are just moisture soaked, right? So it's going to be obviously harder to warm them. And that's why it's a bit cooler across the south. Everywhere else, though, it looks pretty darn warm, and heat wave level stuff. Yeah, definitely dangerous. So that's what the GFS ensembles say. The EPS, which are the European ensembles, do show the heat wave as well. Maybe not as strong, but it only goes out to 240, so it's tough to tell what it does with this cold front, as does the European. If you're to take a look at its let's go at its height and arm anomaly. This kind of gives us a better look at where the cool can be. Notice, right, this is into today, definitely a bit cooler, and then yeah, again, the heat building, spilling towards the east, and that's as far as it goes, but definitely includes a lot of heat, with temperatures being very warm. These are a bit above further up in the atmosphere, but the surface ones will be pretty close to resembling this heat, just early summer heat. So yeah, if you're getting cold today, you should appreciate it, because it won't be cold for long. All these frost advisories will be long memory, a long lost memory. Didn't know what I was gonna say there. So yeah, stay safe, guys. Hopefully you all will have a great weekend, great Memorial Day weekend, day off, extra long weekend. I could show you the NAM 12KM or the NAM 12KM for the next 84 hours. This model is a really good model, and let's see what it does with this rain, as a lot of the folks will be dealing with rain across the East Coast. Notice, spills in, right, but it does quickly leave by tomorrow. In the morning, it is pretty much out of the Northeast, excluding portions of the Carolinas and the Northeast. We do see that development of that second system, which brings some rain into the Northeast. Notice there are showers and potentially some severe weather across Kansas, Oklahoma, and into Texas. And but otherwise not any widespread huge storms. This is at this point 10 a.m. Central Standard Time, Memorial Day. Notice we have showers and storms across the Northeast. They're exiting, and kind of these nice batch of precipitation again across Oklahoma, Kansas, and Texas. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. That's pretty much it, and I'll catch you all on the next episode. See ya. Bye.